I wanted to share with you a list of questions you should seriously consider asking, and in Amazon interviews in particular. The first question, probably the most popular Amazon-specific question for them, would be, what's your favorite leadership principle? It's a question that signals many positive things about the candidate, that you do care about the leadership principles. It's a question that your interviewer will most likely enjoy answering. They will also inevitably have an answer because everyone at Amazon knows those leadership principles. You won't put the interviewer in difficulty with any hard questions, so that's why it's recommended. Now, let's get to more interesting questions if you want to get a bit of advantage in these interviews. That is, what would be the 3 most relevant leadership principles for this role, or the most important leadership principles? And there's a very good reason why you'd want to ask them such questions, and that is, in an Amazon interview, you're being scored. They're using behaviorally anchored rating scales, and they use this to differentiate the quality of your answers when compared to other candidates, and on some specific core competencies. Core competency meaning leadership principles. Some leadership principles are more important than others in Amazon interviews for specific roles. So that's why if you ask them this question, don't expect them to be, hey, these 3 will be the most interesting ones, but you can expect a bit of signals. Some signals, especially from the key stakeholders in the process, the people that know which leadership principles they're most interested in. And this is how you would get a little bit of an advantage from asking them this interview question. The third question I would suggest you ask them during an Amazon interview would be, what have others in this role done to succeed? Or what have others in the role done wrong in this role? This question basically means that, you know what makes people successful in this role? And it's a backward-looking question. They sometimes, they couldn't find the right person for a specific reason. And more often than not, this is not as private, as confidential information as is, to share those 3 competencies that are most important in the ideal candidate, right? Also asking them if it's a new or a replacement role might be of interest to you, because, new teams might not have so strict frameworks, so to speak, as to how the ideal candidate looks like, because they might not know it either, because it's a new team. If it's an older role, knowing why did the other person leave can be useful to you as a candidate. Question number 4, how do you define success for the role? What KPIs do you use to measure success for an employee in this role? And the reason why this question is so relevant is because Amazon is a data-driven company. They pride themselves being a data-driven company, and oftentimes the rejection reasons in Amazon interviews is you are not data-driven enough as a candidate as we would have liked. So by asking them questions about the KPIs, that might also reveal something quite interesting for you as a candidate, because they are a data-driven company and they work like this. So this is why this would be also relevant, right? Next question number 5. Why did you decide to join Amazon? Okay, so again, a very easy question, simple question for them, on the same lines with what's your favorite leadership principle, but also something they would enjoy answering, and it's not a difficult question either, right? And last but not least, what is a typical day look like now working for Amazon, right? Again, it's an easy question. I believe it's a relevant question for many roles, because you'd want to get a bit of insight as to how does it look like working for Amazon these days in the age of AI and all these things. So that's why it would be something I would also recommend. Finally, a final tip here. The best possible question you can ask them is a combination of what you prepared before your interview and based on how your interview evolves. So I hope you found this useful, and thank you very much for watching.